welcome along to the stream and Happy New Year to everybody. It's good to have you all back with us again for another year, and super excited to show some more sim racing action for you guys and just have fun together. And tonight especially we're going to have some fun because we're in Live for Speed. Now this, I guess you can call it retro sim racing title, has had a bit of a resurgence recently. We've had an update. The guys have been working hard on it for a while, and we've now got modding capability within Live for Speed. So we're going to give some of these mods that people have created a little bit of a drive, and there's a bit of a variety in terms of what mods there are available in Live for Speed. You have to have the S3 license version for Live for Speed, and as you can see from the thumbnail and the image that you see on the screen there, Stadium Super Trucks are definitely one of the mods, and we'll be giving that a go. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But we're going to go and take a look at it, see what vehicles are available, and yeah, have some fun with it. So yeah, looking forward to it. Funky, good evening, Happy New Year to you. Hope you're well. Right, let's transition over to the go and see what we've got to deal with. Okay, right. Stuff in here as well. Right, so as you can see, we've got our usual SRB livery up over here, and so when you select your cars normally, this is what you'd be presented with. You'd have this screen of various cars, fictional and non-fictional cars to choose from. But when you get into the S3 license, you also have this little button here that says mods. So we're going to give that a click and see what happens. Michael, try E-Challenger or Grand Prix Legend 65, please. Yes, we'll try some of these for sure. So let's have a look at mods. And here we go. So we've got already some interesting things that we've just got to try. Now, worth mentioning here that there's these ones here which are approved mods. So these are ones which have gone through the Live for Speed's creators approval process, and they've said yes, these are good mods to have. So there's some approved ones, and there's also some which haven't quite yet gone through that, and you can try them, any of them. So we're going to have a look at some of these, but there's some interesting stuff on here, and all you have to do, you don't even have to go to a website to drive them or download them. You simply click on the you want to drive, and it downloads it, and you're off and away. And being Live for Speed, everything's done ridiculously quickly. So let's just take a quick scroll through and show you some of the stuff that's available within the Live for Speed modding section. So we've got obviously a limo here, we've got a Hummer, we've got a VW camper, we've got a bus. I'm not quite sure how a car lift hoist is going to drive. I don't know. We have it is a Fusca camper. You're right, Funky. Yes, we'll have to get onto that. We've got a motorbike. Now you may have seen our short video that we put up this last week, driving or riding this particular thing, and it's an interesting experience. So we'll give that a go as well. But it's not just mad stuff. You know, we've got things like this. You know, there's an RX-7 here, which is not called an RX-7, but it's an RX-7. And then you've got S14s, and then you get on to something like this, some more motorbikes, and some more fictional stuff, and some historic stuff, and got a Cobra, a Supra, some trucks, a kart cross, a remote control car, a washer. Quite sure what the point of that one is. We've got a 911, we've got Subaru, we've got some more buses. So yeah, generally there's just all sorts of stuff on here. Tractors. Of course, we're going to have to give that a go as well. Yeah, the top fuel dragsters, karts, wagons, you name it. We've got pretty much everything to play with, and obviously some of them are going to be better put together than others. Some of them are going to be a little bit rough around the edges, but that could just be part of the fun. So let's see how we go. So Michael suggested the E-Challenger, so we will jump on that one first. Let's see if we can find that one. Put in E-Challenger. Except it's there we go. E-Challenger. Okay, so that's basically a Formula E car then. So we'll give that one a go and see what happens. So again, with Live for Speed, you can see what's going on with the forces. So you can turn the forces on, You can see where all the weight is distributed on the car, and then you give it a drop and you can see how that affects on the suspension. It's all very, very cool. So Formula E, basically, electric single-seater. Let's give it a test. And seeing as they mostly run around city circuits, let's go for a suitable setting. So we'll go with the classic South City circuit and see how this goes. So we're just going to just have some fun this evening, just drive some different cars, see how they go, and have a laugh really. So, right, so we're sat here. We've probably got the engine on, but I can't hear it because it's electric. So here we go. And away we go. And there's no gears, obviously. There's only the one, which is just the drive. Now it's interesting to see what this is like in comparison to the Formula E cars which we have in rFactor 2. Woo, hello. Now this circuit is considerably quicker, no doubt, than most Formula E circuits that they would encounter. However, that's not too much of a problem. We've got downforce. We have a little bit. Ooh, there's the wall. And on the brakes. How good are the brakes on this? It's hard to tell so far. But considering the limitations of lift for speed in terms of like the sound modding and all sorts of things, they've actually got the electric sound down pretty well, whoever's made this, so it's pretty good really. Down to this fast sweeping left-hander. Brakes are very soft, there's not much braking capacity. Off we go again. So obviously, looking at these aren't necessarily going to be the highest of quality in terms of polygons or how they look, etc. But it's curious just to see how well they drive, because if some of these drive just as well as the official content, I suppose you could call it, then it's going to be interesting to see how they go. This thing is proving to be a bit of a handful. Obviously electric cars have a lot of torque straight away, and you can, as soon as you put the power down, it will start to spin up if you get a little bit too enthusiastic with the right foot. So you've got to be quite careful with it. So Frankie says, I watched a bit of Formula E live on YouTube a while back. It was pretty good racing. It was. It is good racing in Formula E, actually. Definitely worth a watch. It's very light over the crest there. On the brakes. Whee! There we go. Through the chicane once again. It's very lively. But of course, we have the wonderful tire model that's part of the Live for Speed sim. So it's quite progressive in the way that it does go sideways on. You can actually lean on them a little bit and just feel the car moving around. So it's relatively straightforward to be able to correct some of these slides. That's too quick again. But it's pretty good, actually. I mean, obviously it's not going to have all the full bells and whistles, such as attack mode or all the other energy saving and harvesting modes, etc., like you would get on Formula E for rFactor 2, but for the purpose of simulating an electric race car in a single seater such as this, yeah, it's pretty fun, and it's very different. Very different to what you would normally get on Live for Speed, so that's pretty cool. Bit of a look at it from the outside. With a battered front wing, obviously very quiet on the outside. But yeah, as I say, you're looking at it from there, you think, oh yeah, the general design's there of a Formula E car, but it's not, highly polished and like you'd expect to find on other titles and things. But nevertheless, very good fun. So, no attack mode, but region update got out literally minutes ago. Oh, did it? Oh, okay. So let's go back to the pits then. Let's have a look. Say anything in here about region transmission, electric motors? Even got it on there as well, which is cool. unlock. I'm just looking at the settings you have available to play with them there, but there you go. So battery capacity. Yeah, it's obviously about fuel and how much you put into it and things. So interesting that it's actually got regen though. That's really cool. This shows you the depth of the physics engine available in Need for Speed. That's really impressive actually. But default R4 and default roads. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between the setup. Obviously, one looks like it's got. Okay, one's got road tires, one's got more slick type tires. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Right. Let's on the other one you have Grand Prix Legend 65. You'll find that one as well. Where is it? Seen it around somewhere. This one here, there we go. So this one, basically a very classic Grand Prix car with the cigar tube shape. And again, running treaded tyres on it, fairly basic looking design. However, curious to see how this drives. Let's take this somewhere. Where should we go with this one? Good old Blackwood, which is a fun circuit. We'll drive this one. Oops, no, we don't want that one. It's got a autocross layout on it. We don't need that. This one, the regular one, thanks. That's better. Okay, so yeah, treaded tyres. Lots of reverb on the sounds. Let's see what this is like to drive. Might have to turn the force feedback up for this one. They do vary between cars, so you can jump into some cars and the force feedback's quite strong, but in others it's quite light. So this one is one of those which is quite light. So I'm just going to turn the force feedback up just a touch. There and see if that makes a difference. Okay, I can feel something now. Now the thing with these modded cars on Need for Speed is you can't currently run laps against them using the AI. So if you want to race them, you do have to race them online. Shift plus A for sound. Hey, tall one, by the way. Oops, not paying attention. No brakes. Where are my brakes gone? I'll check, make sure I'm getting these. What's going on? Why have we got no brakes? Hang on a second. Come back out of here a sec. Have a quick look at my fire thing just to make sure that it's all working. Yeah, no, it should be. Let's just go back into the game and just check the. So brakes. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be fine. Let's just be old brakes that I'm just not getting used to. So let's try that again. The AI Pathfinder was also released minutes ago, by the way. Oh, well, in that case, we'll have to give that a go. Thank you for all the info, by the way, Michael. That's very handy. Because up until the point where I loaded in, I don't think it was there. So it's good to know that it is there now. We can give that a go and try that live. Right, now we have some stopping power. Or we're aware of how much braking distance we need. Let's give this Formula 65 a better chance. Stop. To brake earlier than that though. Especially as the speeds we get up to are pretty high. However, trying to drive it through the little chicane there. Good levels of detail in the force feedback, and I'm actually able to balance the car through there quite nicely as well. Just a nice little drift part way through. That felt pretty good. Right, let's get on the brakes much earlier this time. 200 board. I need to be earlier than that. We made it, but even so, it's kind of clench your teeth as you approach the corner much too quickly. Slow down. Yeah, definitely no brakes. And lots of power. But that usual forgiving feeling of the tyre physics is there still, and it's nice to just have the car moving around underneath you a little bit. Yeah, got it stopped for turn 1 this time. A little bit enthusiastic with the right foot there. Press 4 for racing line. Yeah, I think I might need it. But I'm actually really enjoying Live for Speed again. It's been a long time since I've been driving in Live for Speed, but it's been so good to kind of get back into it. And obviously this new patch has really breathed some new life into it. And it's just really fun. Yeah, when you start pushing on a little bit, you've got to be ready to catch the rear end. Up over the crest, and again the car goes nice and light over the top there. This is pretty fun actually. Old Grand Prix cars usually are a good, enjoyable experience to drive. It's quite active on the steering wheel through there. Probably needs to be a bit smoother, but it's fun trying to wrestle the thing, to be honest. And again, they've kind of got the sound, so it has that nice kind of megaphone-y exhaust kind of sound going on in the background. Again, missing that apex on the inside. That's pretty good. I'm actually quite pleased with that. So let's come out of that in a second. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, it's a very vintage looking shape. I mean, the only thing I can compare it to more recently is the vintage single seaters on Automobilista 2. Now, obviously, there's the difference in terms of age of sim, but you know, the fundamentals are there. It's very, very fast in a straight line, but also very loose around the corners as well. So yeah, good fun to drive. That was nice. Right, what we're going to do is we'll have a look through here. I'm just going to pick some of these other ones at random here just to see what happens. So right, I think we should probably stick with cars for the time being, and then we'll get a bit more interested in afterwards. So let's try this obviously rip-off Subaru rally car here. So we've got a selection of different color options: blue, yellow, black, some designs and things, and a Subaru type colorway. What we're going to do with this one, we're going to go to Rockingham, and we'll just do a free roam, and we'll just drive this thing wherever and just see what it's like to throw around some corners, do some hairpin corners and some handbraking and stuff, just to see how it goes. Yakuza, welcome. Try the VKi6. Okay, certainly will. Here we go. At Rockingham. Now this has got some elements which have been reused from some of the other Live for Speed cars, and that wheel is very familiar from some of the GTR versions. Got some backfire going on in the sounds department of this one. Use the H-pan when it's a sequential. That's cool. Just trying to throw the car around and see what the weight is like. Oh yeah, it's just so good. I mean, the weight transition through the wheel. Yeah, it's awesome. You can really feel the car moving around underneath you. I'll skip the circuits here a little bit, so I'm a bit unsure exactly as to where I am. Oh, I'm in the wrong way here. I think that's why. Yeah, going down to the hairpin. Right, let's give it a scandy flick into here. Oh, that's pretty fun. Oops. Well, there's a rally car, I suppose, after all. Actually, we'll go around this way and we'll try and get back onto the oval. Actually, I think it's the other way around. Right, we'll try and explore some of the side roads as well, because we're on the full free roam, so we can, oops, go pretty much wherever we want. So let's just cut across here. We'll go into the paddock somewhere. But this sounds really cool, actually. I know it's mostly using the standard kind of sounds of, let's say, some of the GTRs and things, but that backfire actually sounds pretty cool. Right, let's go through here. Go down the tunnel down the other end down here. There's the tunnel under the banking, which is how you used to be able to get into the infield at Rockingham. There's a barrier stopping us from going any further. I'll go up that way on the outside. Oh no, there's a fence. Oh, it's all going so well. That's fun. I like that one. That's really cool. Right. See what else we've got. What else have we got? So the VKI 6 is a recommendation. What have we got? There's that. VFI 9. VKI 6. These have been added to all day long as well. I've been keeping an eye on them, and there's actually been more added in throughout the day as well, which has been cool. So people are wheelchair. Oh dear. Obviously we have to give that a go as well. Okay, right. So an old EK Civic. That's cool. That looks really nice, actually, doesn't it? Some interesting livery designs. Motor-inspired one here, actually. Right, where should we take this one? Right, with the cup set and ABS on. It's super fun. Right, okay, let's do that. Before we choose, here we go. Cup. ABS. Oops. There we go. Let's take this to go to West Hill actually. West Hill's a fun circuit. We'll do the international layout because that's a nice flowing layout, which will be good for this. So I'm expecting this to be a obviously a front-wheel drive car, 4-cylinder. This has actually got its own. Oops, can't really see that, but it's got its own interior as well, hasn't it? This is not just taking interior from somewhere else. It's actually got its own interior as well, which is good. High revving Honda engine. This game brings so much fun. Yeah, it does. It does honestly bring a lot of fun. It's so versatile. It's not just about the racing as well. You can do all sorts of stuff with it, whether it's just cruising around or drifting or whatever it might be. There's just so much stuff you can do with it. It's just, yeah, it's just brilliant. And so good to be back in it again. Right, hard braking on the 100 board. And to third gear for the final corner here. And your grip on turning there as well. I can probably take a bit more speed into there. That sounds good too. And over the line we go. The first corner's a bit of a dipping away down the hill, so we're going to be braking on the 100 board. Down to fourth, get it turned in. Get out to the right hand side here. And it's sweep uphill, down to fourth there. And we're going to go off to the right here. Downhill braking point. Again, quite a quick corner. Go much quicker through there than I actually managed to do there. Turned in too early. The grip surprised me. Right, coming down to the one of the slowest points on the circuit. It's kind of a left-right, left chicane. Feel the weight through the wheel load up as we come to that left-hander then. Now, as far as front-wheel drive cars in Need for Speed, we had the XFG, which is part of the demo, so a lot of people drive that quite a lot. But it's nice to have another bit of front-wheel drive machinery on the roster of available cars. That's really good through that. Picking up the pace a little bit now, it's good. Getting used to it. That is really nice, actually. Let it run out to the right hand side, and then the corner opens up, so you can just let the car naturally move to the right hand side of the circuit. Yeah, this is good. I think we can probably we might try this in a race actually, just to see what it's, if we can get some AI cars on track with us and see how they handle it. Again, just the feeling as you go over the curbs, you can just feel when the car just rides up on those elevated curbs, and then how it drops off it. But you know, modding for Need for Speed has not really been out that long, and we've already got people throwing things out like this, which, to be honest, yeah, it's super impressive, isn't it? I mean, I know there's a lot of very talented modders in the sim racing community and things, and I think quite a lot of people have been waiting for the moment for Need for Speed to allow modding officially for quite some time, so they may have been sitting on some things which they've wanted to do, and then they've been able to bring it in and integrate into the game properly, which might explain some of the speed behind it, but nevertheless, it's pretty impressive to see all the stuff that's been brought out already. Which, out of the box, drives really, really well. Seems like it's got a bit of grip from the front end in terms of trying to get the power down. There's not an awful lot of wheel spin, but then it's not a massively high-powered front-wheel drive car. So there's an element of slip to it, but not a huge amount. That's awesome. I love that. That's really good. Fight the weight of the car through there. No, that's good. Like that one. Let's go into single player mode then. Let's just see if we can get our Civic back. Where's it gone? Down here somewhere. It's a tank. Oh my word, there's so many things. Right. Search for it. Oops. AI. That's the one. Right. Yes, there we go. Add a driver. Could not load AI path. Maybe it's just on the official ones then, maybe. The approved ones. Let's try that. Go back to the mods again. Approved mods only. Let's oh, it is an approved one. Okay. Maybe it's just certain ones. Put that one on. And you do AIs with that. Okay. We'll explore that a little bit more. Right. So, what else have we got? Let's try something a little bit more ridiculous. Let's okay, I reckon we're going to go with the bike. So, this is the Mosquito, which is like a 150cc motorbike. Now, bearing in mind, before we jump into this, Live for Speed has been the realm of 4 wheels. So everything with 4 wheels is fine. Not necessarily been made for the use of 2-wheeled motorcycles with lean and all that kind of stuff as well. So bear that in mind before we jump into this, because I think it's just incredible what's been able to do with as our driver, who's even assuming the correct position on the bike as well. So okay, well we'll stick with we'll stick with this circuit. Now, also with this, it's been modelled properly. So to engage first gear, you have to go down a gear, and then you go up as you go second, third, fourth. So you got to pull the down gear to get first, and then we're away, and we're going up to the gearbox. Now, if you've just had dinner, I apologise, because we're going to be doing some leaning and probably seeing some angles which you wouldn't normally have seen of the racetrack here on Live for Speed. So let's see if we can survive a lap with the bike. But the fact you can actually lean the bike over and have it just not fall over. Of course, there's limits to how much you can lean the bike over. It's also rather odd doing this with a steering wheel rather than handlebars, and with pedals as well, rather than a twist grip. Thankfully this bike is quite slow, so it gives you time to kind of get used to it all a little bit and balance it out. There we go. Tip it into the last corner. Try to be as smooth as possible so we don't upset it. But look at this, you can ride a motorbike authentically in Live for Speed. It's just incredible, isn't it? It is ridiculous, you're right, for one. It shouldn't happen, but let's just have a look from the outside. Look, here we go. There's our man on his little Mosquito 150cc, and we're losing speed because we're going uphill. No! You can do it. Right. Flip it into the first corner. Well, there you go. So obviously the rider doesn't move with the bike, which from the outside can look a little bit odd. But the fact that you can do this is just incredible. I love it. But of course, if you do go a little bit too much to one side or another, you can fall off. It is possible, which I shall demonstrate very shortly. Let's try and get enthusiastic into this downhill left. And it just drops it on the just low sides and off you go. And when that happens, you just have to go back to the pits and start again because you can't reset it at the moment. But how amazing is that? It's just incredible. So we're going to try some of the quicker bikes as well, just to see if we can actually control it. Right, let's see, what else have we got? So let's just jump into this thing for a moment. The Mazda RX-7, or the Dorito FD7 that is known on Live for Speed. And this is obviously a rotary powered car. So again, just to explain that, so the variations with what we have available to us in terms of the sound engine within Live for Speed, rotary is not something that they have had in-game naturally anyway. And it has its own very unique sound. So does that come through with this car? Yes, it does. Sure, it may not be the most highly sampled, accurate representation of a rotary engine. However, it is very convincing. And it's also really good to drive too. Ooh. This is in the street version of it, so there's two versions of this which are available in the setup, which actually changes the look of the car as well. There's a race version which has a much bigger rear wing on it, and it doesn't have the pop-up headlights, it has integrated headlights on the front. You can just hold them in these nice long drifts all the way through, and you can just recover, and it's just so fun. I'm really impressed with the modded cars on Live for Speed. And again, this is, custom interiors as well here. This isn't just reusing an interior from a car on Live for Speed, but just with a different body on it. You just throw it into corners and recover it. We're having all the way up to 9,000 RPM from our little rotary engine. That one's gone a long way, but we managed to bring it back as well. The accused bikes are super hard to drive, could you? Oh, thanks. It didn't always go like that. As you probably saw from the shorts video that we did, it was it's not all plain sailing driving the bikes. We had a fair few wobbles. It happens more at low speed. I think once you're up to speed a little bit more on a flowing circuit such as this one here, it makes it a bit easier. But if you're trying to negotiate slower stuff, which we might have to try actually, there's some kart circuits we will try and see if we can get around on there, because that's when it gets tricky trying to keep the bikes upright. The RX-7, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's nicely modelled as well. I mean, you look at it, spin it around here, but it's just, yeah, it's really nicely done. So yeah, super impressed with that one. I'll show you track version while we're at it. So there you go, big wing, roll cage in it, and the integrated front headlights as well. So a little subtle variation, but nice touch as well. That's really cool. Right. Now there are some things on here which I've not tried, so we'll do some of those. You've got DTM cars on here as well, which is just insane. Go all mods. Right. I've not tried the limo, so let's take. Someone's taken the UF1 and turned it into a limo. Oh, a pink limo. Do that. There's a rallycross version of it. Look at that drop again. Look at that soft suspension. Well, obviously, we're going to have to try that one out of the rallycross circuit, but let's try the standard one first off. Look at the state of that. Right. Well, again, we're just going to have to take it to the city. We'll just do a free roam on the city and go and see if we can pick up some passengers. I don't know. See what happens. Can we get around? There's actually passengers in the mirror. I didn't realise. Okay. First off, will this thing even move? It's going. Now, I'm just going to be aware of just how long this thing is. I don't know how big the turning circle is going to be. I'm going to give myself plenty of room. Obviously not obeying lane laws there at the moment. Let's try and get around this left-hander. Ooh. No, don't turn that early. Hang on, let's just go outside for a second. Just see the extent of what we're dealing with here. How much of an effect does that length of the car have on it? I turn it normally. Don't get stuck, okay? I'll try not to. If you want fun, there's a... Yes, there is a Mr. Bean car. I have seen that, actually. I'm going to have to give that a go. Right. We've got a bit of a problem here, guys. We've just come down a bit of a tight road. So, try and get around here. Okay. We're through. Yes, don't make me spill my champagne. I'll try not to. Sorry, I'll drive smoothly for you, Funky. No handbrake turns going on in this. Or is there? Well, the handbrake is on, but I think it would take several years for the rear end to come around. Because it's just that far back. Well, we're up to third gear. Sign says 30 miles an hour. We're doing considerably more in our pink limo. Luckily, all the traffic lights say it's green. Ooh. Go this way. It's actually not as hard to drive as I was expecting it to be. Right. Handbrake. Ooh, there's a nice up ramp to go on up here. Let's try our luck and see what we can do up here. This is obviously going over a pit lane here, but how tight is it going to be at the top here? I've forgotten. Oh, it's not too bad. Right, turn around because we're kind of going the wrong way around here. Let's just get ourselves back into reverse. Back into one of these garages. Driving on the mirrors because I can't see out the... There we go. We're in. Okay, let's that was far less mad as I was expecting it to drive. So let's just up the ante a little bit here. Let's go rally crossing with it. Backward rally cross. Now the question here is, not only one, can we get it around a lap, but two, will it get grounded out on top of the jump? Are we going to get stuck? First of all, we've got to get there, so let's go around to the start. Whether the length will actually make it over the the lumps and bumps of the rallycross circuit remains to be seen. Let's see what happens. But we have extra ground clearance. Okay, right, we survived the first section of dirt, but that's not the difficult one. 120 feet in there. Oh, thanks. Oh dear. About all drivers get tipped these days, isn't it? Right. This is where we double back on ourselves and then go up and over the jump. Here we go. Well, we made it over. It's how ridiculous does that look? Getting oversteer in a big long limo. Oops. Driving from the TV camera views is not always an easy thing to do. You don't really know where the track goes. I think it goes right here. No, it doesn't. Too early. Oh dear. Well, there you go. Rallycrossing in a limo. Who would have thought it? Ah, oh, one. Thanks for subscribing. That's really appreciated. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for becoming part of the Sim Racing Bible crew. Glad you're enjoying what you're seeing. With some mad antics driving some modded cars on Need for Speed. Right, so the limo. That was pretty good. Alright, let's because the limo is not big enough, so let's just let's go with a bus, which has been created by Chuck Norris, so I'm expecting it to be pretty hard. Right, here's our bus. No, we won't go to the rallycross track on this one. A Fern Bay to a free roam on here. The 404 to Porth Call. It's a Welsh bus as well. Who would have thought it? Okay, so here we go. We've got our big front window to look through. What else have we got? So our passengers get on. Can't see anything behind us. And away we go. I think we almost had wheel spin in a bus then. And again, the sounds are actually reasonably convincing. Of course it's slow, because you would expect it to be. Oh, it feels heavy on the steering. Turn. You know what you could do with this now, can't you? You know what they do in Japan for Super GT races, where they have those circuit safaris. You can have people driving around in buses and everyone else in race cars, and you can just watch as they fly past. Yeah, the dashboard has been a bit stretched, doesn't it, Michael? Ooh. Losing revs. And it's only saying I can go up to 60 miles per hour, which I'm quite glad about actually. I don't think I want to go any faster than that in the bus. The fifth gear, flat out, 55 miles an hour. And then flat out around this right-hander onto the bridge and the tram tracks. Once it gets going though, look at it. Pulling along quite nicely, only 5 gears. And we're flat out. Now again, this also presents another thing with the ability to create a diesel sounding engine, because obviously buses are our diesel, and it's actually done a pretty good job of it. Oh, now we've got rid of all that speed, we have to build it again. It's an old bus. It is a little... Ooh. Moves around a bit. Press on include tweak mods in the pits to get more mods. Ah. We'll have a look at that. Down by the beach on the seaside now. Our bus. Tell you what, I wouldn't get on as a passenger. Has it got a handbrake? It does, but it doesn't really do much. Hey Rotary lover, try out the Ti1 or the Formula ground effects. Okay, certainly will. Give those a go. Chugging around in our bus. Straight line the chicane here, because we can. Yeah, that's another thing. Let's see what happens if you grab a curb, because there's some reasonable sized curbs here. Ooh. Getting the back out. It is rear wheel drive, of course. Bouncing through there. It's not set up for racetracks. It's or being thrown around at any kind of speed. So let's try this chicane here. Let's go flat out through here and see what happens. Go over these curbs. Everything happens in slow motion. It's just quite a relaxing drive, really. So if you don't fancy thrashing around the circuit in a very fast car, take a bus. Why not? That's kind of putting to use of public transport I can think of. Right. So there we go. Buses in Need for Speed. You say we've got pits. Do tweak mods. Yes. Okay. Except GT diesel. There we go. What else is that brought into the equation? Okay, so this is going to include things which are basically updating the original ones, I suppose, by the looks of things. So taking some of the standard LFS cars, like the XR turbos and things, and then putting wings on them and increasing power levels and all sorts of things. That's pretty cool. Right, turn it off for a second because I was going to see some of these new ones. So look here. So it's a Ti1. Ti. Oh, okay. Hang on, it's going to go back to the description. So this is a rear-wheel drive, 600 kilos, paddle shifters, V12 Group C car. Apparently, is the description for it. Possibly go wrong. It's in low downforce spec. Oops. No, we don't have new colours. Let's take the yellow one. Okay. So I essentially seem to be sat in a carbon fibre coffin because I have a nice square box in front of me and an open top Formula steering wheel. So not quite sure what to expect from this one. So let's just give it some and find out. And we're off. So traction control kicking in there. I have to go into the pit lane and turn that off. Ooh, this thing's quicker than a bus. And obviously it has a fair bit of downforce to it because it's sticking to the ground quite well through the fast stuff. Go this way. Ooh. Yeah, definitely traction control's taking over quite a lot there. Right, okay. Let's go to the pits and we will do a new setup. We'll call it no TC. And brakes and TC, here we go. So traction control off. Now let's see what this thing can do. Yeah. Bit of turbo lag by the looks of things, because there's a dead zone in the power band where you put your foot down and not much happens until all of a sudden lots happens. Yeah. Steering wheel's being flung all over the place. And we found a wall. Okay, that livened things up a little bit. Let's take that to somewhere which has a bit more freedom to get the power down. Let's go back to West Hill with some space, and go from there. That's the great thing about USB. You can just change track and you're instantly there. No 5-6 minute loading time waits. Okay, let's see what we can do. We can stretch the legs of this thing. Ooh. Okay, be a bit more gentle with your right foot, Phil. That's all you need to do. It's quick, 180 mile an hour up to the last corner. Setting up for a bit of a run onto the main straight, see what kind of speed we can get up to, but start from a standstill and go again. Nope. That's okay. We're in a straight line now, it's all good. 170, 180, 190. Somehow managed to get it stopped for turn 1 as well. That thing's mad. I think it's the unruly child of a Sauber, I think. Yes, it's kind of yeah, a mad Group C car with way too much power. Odd looking thing, but okay. There's a Lamborghini lookalike thing there as well, which is quite interesting. Right, okay. What else have we got? Well, let's try this. Yeah, that looks really quite nice, doesn't it? It's done. Red looks good. To be fair, that's a nice job, isn't it, of the camper? The Porsche wheels on it as well. Yeah. Good effort. It's warning rallycross tyres on a road track. I think it's fitted tyres. Go to Aston. We've not been to the Aston circuit. Do a free roam, go over wherever you want. See what this thing's like. I'm expecting it to be quite slow. Oh, look at the interior. Oh, that's really cool. Now this thing is an air-cooled engine slung over the rear axle. And again, it likes to rev by looks of things. Actually goes pretty well for a camper. Although it is kind of topping out a little bit now. Has it got lean? That's the question. A little bit of a wobble test. Yep, got some wobble. And again, hills are not its best friend. It is a nice model, isn't it, Frankie? It looks good. Right, let's go around to the... Wasn't expecting that one. Been too long since I've driven a lot of these circuits. Everybody get in the van, we're going on a road trip. Yes, welcome to the SRB road trip, everybody. Whether we make it there in one piece, I can't guarantee, but it'll be fun nonetheless. We've got downhill, got gravity on our side. We've got some people in the back, as you can see the in the mirror there. Got a couple of heads popping up, sensibly wearing their helmets as well. That's very, very wise. The Fusca wiggle. But has it got the new and improved Fusca sliding ability? That's a big question. Trying to induce some slidey moments, shall we? Quite reluctant to get sideways, but obviously not trying hard enough. There we go. Hasn't quite got the power of the Fusca to to do that sideways thing, but it also has a fair bit more weight as well. Unload the inside and just chuck it into the right-hander. That was a bit better. Bit of a slide going on. Again, could be fun subject matter for an online race, perhaps. Everyone in the buses. I'm actually quite impressed with how this. They are, look, chilling in the back row there. It's quite cool. You can see all the, you know, all the windows. You can see out. Nice view all around the circuit. Very cool. But yeah, I'm super impressed with how this looks. It's really cool. And again, not a fast car, not a traditional kind of car you would normally expect to find in a sim racing title, but you know, fun to have nonetheless. It's that's quite cool. Right, like that. That's very good. What else we got? What else we got? I guess we kind of start ourselves towards the top and work down, shall we? The Shark C, which is a compact car with rear-wheel drive, 888 kilos. Powers in kilowatts, so I don't really know how that crosses over to the brake horsepower, but go with this one. So this one looks, I'm trying to picture what it actually is based on. I think it's like an old Cadet, is it? Please correct me if I'm wrong. An old, oh no, it's got an M badge on the back. I don't think it's, I think it's BMW shaped. I think it was more Cadet looking. That's okay. Quite a nice looking thing anyway. Go to Kyoto ring every that's on the GP long circuit. Does not have the power of the Fusca. You don't hear that often. No, that's not a phrase. The words power and Fusca together don't often appear, do they? Got a nardy steering wheel to this thing, a nice wooden dash. Couple of clocks on the dashboard there, including the real clock as well. Chevette, yeah. Yeah, possibly. Looks like a Datsun as well. Yeah, that's another option. It's one of those shapes which I've seen and I should know, but for whatever reason it's escaping me at the moment as to what it actually is. It looks old, Opel, Vauxhall-ish, or yeah, Datsun-like as well, possibly. Didn't check if it was front or rear-wheel drive, so I'm just going to have to find out. A handsome one. It is a handsome one. It's quite a nice looking thing, isn't it? I do like a nice nardy steering wheel. This one's got a nice wooden steering wheel. Very retro looking. Right, so we're on supposedly the long version of Rotary ring, although I can't remember if I actually selected free roam or not. I don't think I did. It's rear-wheel drive, is it, Yakuza? Okay, cool. thanks for letting me know. I was waiting for a slow corner to try and find out, so this looks like an opportunity. Not easy to tell because of the power to weight going on here, but yeah, if it is rear-wheel drive, I think it behaved a little bit rear-wheel drive, like trying to get the power down out of there. So the transmission whine you can hear in the background as well, indicating some kind of straight cut gearbox going on. Got a Kenwood stereo. You can just see that in the bottom right, maybe. Sorry, bottom left. I said right because I was going right around the corner. But yeah, when the light hits it, you can just see the detail of a quite modern looking head unit. Okay, so quite a basic kind of car in terms of handling. It doesn't do an awful lot, but then it's a slower car, and it's you know, at the same time it's not killing you with oversteer or understeer. It's quite neutrally balanced. It's quite nice to drive. A little bit lost on these longer, faster sections, but on a short circuit with some twists and turns, this could be quite a fun drive. Let's try and concentrate a little bit more through this corner down here and see if we can dial into some of the driving dynamics of it. Again, the weight on the wheel is quite nice. You can feel it moving around when it does get sideways. And again, you can pick it up and control it quite easily as well. Throw it into this left-hander a little bit. Feel the weight of it. Change down halfway around there just to keep the revs up, and then onto the banking. Okay, let's have a look at that from the outside because I'm quite curious about how that looks. Let's get to a trackside cam that isn't a static one. There we go. It's quite a nice looking thing. Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of Datsun 120Y about it as well, with that rear pillar. Nice little thing. Right. Go down the list then. So next one up is another Civic by the looks of things. This is a VFI 9. And this is actually interesting. I'm curious how this one goes because it looks like it's obviously been race prepped. It's got a spoiler on there and racing from bumper and window nets and things. Hang on. No way. I have a friend who has a car exactly like this in this colour. It's been heavily modified now. But that's incredible, the fact that there's actually a car just like his, which isn't a very popular car in the world of sim racing, let's be honest. But yeah, it's exactly the same kind of car. That is so cool. Right, well, we've got to give this a go. So we've got some options up here in terms of setups. Oh, okay, so you can change it so that it's got the SIR here, so 91 essentially, so the rear exhaust, and then you've got the ITR, which is a side exit, and M factory again, rear, and it's got Group A spec. Sounds like a bit of us, doesn't it? Should we give that a go? Side exit. That's cool. Right, let's give this a go. Let's take it to somewhere that's a little bit more involved to drive. So we'll do the club circuit at Firm Bay, shall we? Again, it's a nice looking model. I mean, the rear light clusters on there look really detailed. It's quite nice. There we go. Bit of front wheel drive action again. Okay, let's turn right here. Down the hill for a tight chicane. Yeah. You had an SI Civic, did you, Todd? That's cool. Many, many years ago. There's not many of them around anymore, I don't think, is there? 91 brake horsepower. Oof. That would be quite impressive back in the day, though, wouldn't it? 91 horsepower. This has obviously been considerably tuned because it's quite quick for a little thing. Interior looks quite nice as a jacuzzi. Yeah, it does. I'll let Todd be the judge of the interior since he had one. What do you reckon, Todd? Did it look right? Again, quite nice to drive. It's just the car handling, you know, so launching it over that curb on the inside there, it's the way it came down so naturally, and the way the weight works of the car on the track, it's just so good. Getting into the hang of it now. Again, revving all the way up to 9,000. Cross-gating down to second gear for the hairpin. Oops, too late on the brakes. Alright, let's put it back on there. So how much does it rev to? It revs to about 9, I think. Actually, it goes past that. It's revving right the way past until it stops. It bends the needle. Yeah, so it's probably revving to about 9.5 if you had the dial to cover all that. This track's in Jamaica. Is it actually? Is it just based in Jamaica, Tour One, or is it actually in Jamaica? Curious to know. Todd says the gauge font looks familiar along with the climate controls. Oh yes, you got the little slidey vents on the dash there, as you can see, and the little rotator switch for high, low, or off. Back when it was so basic, but so cool. That's nice. Enjoyed that. A cool car to drive. Some big old slicks on it as well, so hence why the pure amount of grip we had on there. That's awesome. Love it. Okay. Next up then is this thing, which is V8 Power 5, not a Hummer, obviously, because that'd be wrong. It says it's a touring car. Okay. Oh yes, give that another drop. Got to be a yellow Hummer, isn't it? Just the ridiculousness of it. Okay, we're still here in Burn Bay, and we're out of fuel. I was joking. This thing is notorious for not having a very good amount of miles per gallon, and with its rather large tyres, all of a sudden the steering has become quite heavy. Revving out of third gear, just keeps going. And then the dive on the brakes. Turned in. The chrome air vents looking at me. Almost don't need to worry about that chicane, you can just drive straight over it probably. Take out the tyres in the process. For all its weight, it does stop quite well. This is a very heavy car going towards the concrete wall on the outside. Right, this time we're not going to bother with the chicane, we're just going to go straight through it and just see what happens. If it even affects it, probably won't. Front and brakes. Let's call it the the Chungus Wrecking Ball. Right. So we can't go for the big tyres because that'll just stop us in our tracks, so we'll just... What tyres? Use all that muscle to our advantage. Hang on a second, let's just see how the Chungus Wrecking Ball coped with those fearsome tyres. Here we go. Got the poise of the thing. Let's drive straight through them, no problem. It's not the sight you want to see coming towards you. Okay, well, it's there if anyone wants to use it. You just want to cruise around the coast roads or the perimeter roads of some of the circuits, then yeah, go ahead. We've tried the bus, we've tried the... Do we even bother with the car lift? Let's... I mean, why, first off? I mean, it's one thing... Yeah, majestic. It's one thing having a go at doing something with two wheels, but something with no wheels whatsoever? Just put this somewhere. Go to the car park, and we'll just see if we can move it anywhere. There we go. There's our lift. Does it drive? No. Well, there we have it, everybody. There's the car lift. Hope you enjoyed it. I honestly don't quite understand what the point of that is. Oh, you can even... Oh, there you go. So you can have the arms in different positions. So you can have it... Turn this around a little bit so you can see it. You can have it in position ready to lift, and then a bit higher up together, and completely out so you can drive your car into it. Yeah. Nice detail though. We got the pulleys on there, you got the belts, you got the motors. Yeah, nicely done. Can't drive it. Okay. We've done the bike, we've done the Mazda Sport Coupe. This is the S14. What an impressive livery job on it. Big intercooler on the front. Laid back driving position. This looks a bit of a drift machine. What do you reckon? How's the FFP? Incredible on the car lift. Absolutely so detailed. Loved it. Okay, let's do some drifting. Ah, I can see a nice big vertical handbrake. You probably can't see most of that because it might be under the under my face in the corner. S15. Thanks, Yakuza. Yeah. New is not far from there. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, there's a vertical handbrake, which kind of gives a little bit of a hint into what the purpose of this particular car is. Sounds are good. I mean, they got some popping and banging on the overruns, which is pretty good. Ah, handy. A roundabout. Well, the verdict is it drifts and makes even a very average drifter such as myself look like I know what I'm doing. So, full marks for that. This is a replica of a YouTuber's drift car, is that right? Okay. Well, it's certainly very effective. Curb. Adam LZ. Okay. to check that out. Just doesn't like hitting curbs though. Set up too low for that kind of nonsense. It's okay. If you've seen our video that we've done on Need for Speed and if it was still good in 2021, which we released back in August last year, I had a go at drifting then. I was just driving the XRT with a drift setup on it. It was with mixed effects, I suppose. I had some success, some not very much success. However, this car somehow makes drifting incredibly easy. Obviously, it's been set up specifically for drifting in mind, but you can actually be quite accurate with it in terms of where it actually turns in and how you can control it with the throttle and the brakes. Yeah, that was an example of maybe not quite being as accurate as I needed to be, but God says I gotta say that's some excellent car control. It's all the car. It's nothing to do with me. It's all the car doing it for me. And again, drifting with a Formula rim, not the easiest of things to do. That's awesome, actually. I could spend more time with that. That was. And the great thing about Need for Speed, obviously, they've now opened up these full free roam versions of the map, so you can just drive wherever. But it does mean that exploring with something like this is just heaps of fun, because you can just find places to go and drift around. It's just, yeah, mega, love it. 60 degrees of steering lock is probably why. Yeah, that would help. It would help. It's set up properly, isn't it? That's awesome. Love that. That's really cool, and it looks nicely done as well. Obviously, you've got the right shape in there. You've got some fat arches are going on as well. So, yeah, no, that's cool. I like that. Right, and now for something completely different. The 1912 Oval Racer, which is an early race motorcycle weighing 127 kilos and a whopping 27 kilowatts of power. But again, quite nicely modelled. I mean, look at it. It's got some detail there in the engine. Let's just get the lighting right so you can see that a little bit better. But you know, that's, yeah, fair play. That's that's pretty cool. Right. Oh boy. Here we go. Right. Ooh, my handbars disappeared at the back. Right. Thankfully, we were in the car park, so there's plenty of space for me to attempt to ride this thing. How much lock do I need to put in? Quite a bit. Well, it leans. Bit of a glitch going on with the steering handlebars. But it rides. If that's doing that from the external view. The rider's really hunched over. Lean on the go. Uh-oh. Probably best he stayed on his bike for that one. Could have been rather painful. Let's try that again. Again, we have to go down the gears to go up. Wind on the lock. Turning circle light. A bit of a wobble on. Okay, can we adjust the... Let's go to the pits. Can we adjust the... Steering wheel turns up to lock. Okay. I'll do that 1080 then and do that. That do. Probably a little bit better maybe. Still requires an awful lot of lock to turn. Okay, not as easy as the other bike to drive, but then it is from a completely different era. But again, this is mad, isn't it? You can have stuff like that in different speed. Who would have thought that? Even 6 weeks ago, who would have thought we'd have something like that in here? But here we have. Right, so to go from a 1912 motorbike, which, yeah, it says oval races, so perhaps we should have taken that on an oval. We're going to something rather different. We have a more modern sports bike. So let's see what happens here. Say it's Blackwood for this. Okay, now this one's a lot more sensitive on the old steering. Let's get to the racetrack, I think. Doesn't have a chance. Ooh, got the wobble going. Nope, nope. Okay. Small inputs on the steering. Take it nice and easy. Going down pit lane. Okay. Nope. Oh, managed to get our foot down. I almost felt like I had to fall with it. We didn't make it to the racetrack. Let's ooh, slow speed. Oop, oop, oop. There. Here we go. Yeah, we'll do the 911 in a minute. We'll do that one very shortly, I reckon. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, let's just let's start on the track. Give ourselves half a chance here. Right. Hope you don't get motion sick. Don't change down too much. And the lovely sound of metal scraping over the tarmac. Right. Let's try. Yeah, I was going to say, Yakuza, you're just taking the words out of my mouth. Let's try and do a wheelie with this thing. Okay, let's look for the sky. We'll just go completely over the back. Okay, get the right angle for this. Well, we called a wheelie very, very briefly. Okay. Get in a straight line and then just floor it. Saved it somehow. Alright. Too much thing. Too much speed. You can tell I'm not a motorbike person. I don't tend to know what to expect of the tyres. I know what they're capable of, but I can't replicate that. Right. Pretty mad. And there's a 650RR non-turbo edition, which is probably a little bit more controllable. So you guys wanted the 911, but we'll jump down and do that first. So there's two versions. There's this one, the 930 turbo, and then there's also, which I've seen somewhere, where is it? This one, this Blackbird, which is quite cool. So we'll do a back-to-back comparison for you guys. So we'll do the 730 turbo, or 930 turbo as it would be. Nice, look at that. Nice selection of colorways as well. Red with the black turbo writing on it. Very, very cool. Charlie Monk Racing, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate you joining us. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. Hope you enjoy your time with us and enjoy watching us make a fool of ourselves trying to drive cars and bikes. Let's jump on. I can't look past the white and blue. Let's go with the white and blue. Classic. Right. 911 then. Interior wise, steering wheel is very basic. Dashboard is, I think, probably about the right shape. But of course, you've got that lovely headlight shape over on the bonnet. Now we've got 6-cylinder engine over the back axle. So let's see how that comes through in the handling. And it sounds like a 6-cylinder as well. They're quite light on the front end, as you would expect with the Porsche 911, which we've seen in other sims as well, where the steering is much lighter on the 911s. But all the way up to the red line. Sounds good, actually. That sounds really cool. We got quite a pace down the back straight here at Blackwood. Oop. Only 4 gears though. Okay, how leery is the rear end on this thing? Okay, nothing really much going on there. We have a turbo chatter there as well, which is cool. Not a great deal of complaining from the rear end. I would expect going through some of these corners and just absolutely nailing the throttle like I have been, but the back end would come around a little bit more. That was more curb induced, I think. There we go. A bit more of a backing into the corner there. Let's try it again on this hairpin, trying to see what the power application's like coming out of the slow corners. Understeer actually on the throttle. These cars in the period were known for being not very forgiving when it comes to being driven sideways. They were obviously, all the weight being at the back meant that once it tried to overtake the front, there was not really much stopping it. So far this seems to be, oops, probably a bit too ambitious going on second gear there, but it seems to be quite subdued on the rear end, actually, if I'm being honest. I mean, it can go sideways, obviously. It's not quite as scary as I would have thought it would be. But it's still nice to drive, though. It might just be well sorted. There's that sausage curb. Be there, fully sideways, full throttle as well. Classic car, what you expect. But no, it is good. It certainly sounds well. And it's lapping Blackwood quite quickly as well. I just love this little section because it's quite tricky. You've got a bit of weight transition going on there, which is always fun to try and balance out. Okay, so that's the 730 or 930 turbo. Yeah, good sounds, nice to drive. Maybe a little bit too forgiving. So let's go try that like Blackbird. You like the orange one, do you, Torvin? Let's have one more look at that. Yeah, with the black. Yeah, that's nice. They all look good, actually. To be honest, I've got a police version. There we go. So Some chases online. The green's good. Red's amazing. Blue and orange always works well together. The race number on the side of that one, very, very cool. Yeah, nice. Nice looking mod. This looks well, doesn't it? Looks so good. Right, and there's this blackbird down here. Here we go. This thing looks a bit beastly, doesn't it? The larger front bumper on it. Pretty mean. Right. Back-to-back testing then. Same steering wheel as the previous one. All our gauges are on an angle because most of the time you're obviously going to be spent looking at the 4,000 to 5,000 RPM kind of area. Let's see how this thing drives. Ooh, it certainly gets up there very quick. It's kind of slow building between 1, 2 and 3,000 revs, and all of a sudden it's like woof, straight around the top. See the turbo boost gauge on the right hand side there as well, which is working hard. Ooh, okay. This thing's a bit of an animal, isn't it? This one's from the Wagon Midnight, the anime. Oh, okay, so an anime-inspired car. Drift Map, welcome. Again, only 4 gears to be for you. So welcome, Drift Map. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that. We're well on our way to 1,000 subscribers now. It's amazing that we've got to this point, and that over 900 of you enjoy seeing what we do. So big thank you to all of you guys who subscribe. Really appreciate that. GTR says Tour 1. Tramping from the transmission on the braking into that downhill right. Well, this is a bit more involved, isn't it? There's obviously a lot more power involved, but the actual driving experience, you got to be you got to be paying attention. It's a lot quicker as well in a straight line than the 730. Obviously has more power involved, backing into the hairpin. It's gone. There we go, there's the rear end action I was expecting from a car such as this. This thing's pretty cool as well. Let's try to get it in a straight line though. Hard enough. Moving over 7,000 RPM as well. The thing is with these real life Porsche motors is they're seriously over-engineered for what power output they came out of the factory with. You really can add an awful lot of improvement to it to make it produce even more power and have it perfectly capable of handling it. Yeah, that one's definitely a handful. But fun. That's good. Like that one. And again, nicely modelled. Really, really cool. Nice. Right. Okay. Let's resume. Where were we up here? Driven the bikes. The FT28R, Italian car with racing modifications. It says. Reasonably lightweight. HP and gearbox, 125 kilowatts. So this is probably going to be similar to that Datsun / Opel car that we tried earlier. A bit of rake to it. Look at that. Nose heavy. See what it's like on the drop test. Definitely sprung at the rear, soft at the front. See how much more it moves at the front than it does at the rear. Okay, let's actually check the forces on there. Yeah, look at all the weight over the front. So these are the things you can do with lift for speed. It's awesome. Right. You got to use suspension geometry as well, and how it reacts when it drops. It's just brilliant. Right. Okay. Let's see what this thing's like. Definitely got some racing modifications. We've got our window net on the left-hand side there. It wants to mate with a tree. Yeah, it does. Ooh, and we're off. That nose down setup, I can already tell without even trying to go around a corner, That's made the front end very nervous. And quite snappy. Very pointy as well, actually. It turns into the corners quite nicely. A Fiat 128. Okay. We have a lot of those in my country. That's cool. Fiat 128 is what this one is based on. We have got 5 gears, unlike the 911. Again, sounds good. There's high revving, but it's got a nice raspiness to it. It's very, very nervous. It's all over the place. It's actually quite enjoyable to drive. Let's try and smooth it out a little bit. He says probably making the worst corner ever. But force feedback's doing some interesting things actually on this one. It's almost gives that feeling. Sometimes, you know, when you set up a wheel for the first time in the game that you've not tried, and you put it to 100% or whatever setting you want to put it to, and it's reversed, so it's actually pulling you the wrong direction. In general, the wheel is set up correctly and it's having the right feelings, but sometimes through some of the corners it's having that kind of reversed effect where it's pulling in a weird way. Now that could just be down to the suspension geometry setup on the car. It does feel a little odd, but with some getting used to, I'm sure it could be just as fun. Flat out in 5th. Don't think I'll have 6th. I'm going to go for 6th gear. Okay, nice and neat into the right-hander. Feed the power in. That's it. Yeah, that's much more like it. Dash vents are the same as Lada. Okay. Hopefully it's built as tough. Looks like it. Like the roll cages help there. That's actually quite a fun little car. Yeah, I see what you mean. A Fiat 128, yeah, FT28, yeah, no, I can see that now. That's a cool little thing actually. It could be torque steer. Yeah, you're right, it could be. You know what, that's not something I've felt in sim for a long time actually. That's actually a very good point, Todd. It could well be torque steer. Interesting. Very interesting. It could also be the fact that my controller was set it wrong for our bike experience. 900, and just try that again. I just need to make sure that's not just my silly not putting things back where they're supposed to be. Okay, let's take it all back. The twitchiness has gone away. The rollover action hasn't. Okay, so it's not as twitchy as it was, but then that's just down to me not putting my steering angle down. I thought it was just unique to that particular car, but obviously it wasn't. So yeah, it's still quite sharp in its inputs, but not excessive. Maybe we should try those 911s again. Let's sorted that out. Okay, let's turn it into here. Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Oh, I love it even more. Why did I have that setting wrong? Okay, let's try through here. That is beautiful to drive, actually. That's really good. Even better. Curbs are deadly with slicks. Yeah, no, it is. And it's quite stiff on the rear as well, so it's probably... I'm just going to just do a quick test because, we've... Okay, so it was that, and then there was the 911s, and then we had that bike, which we can revisit. Let's just go back and check out this one and see. Now that we have the correct steering rotation. Too much bike riding, don't lean, this is a car. I know, it's, it's got to my head, isn't it, funky? Okay. Yes, that is better actually. It is better. Just feel more like it. What change did I make? It was in the garage. I put my controller wheel turns 900 degrees, so basically I'd set it to 1080 to match that weird old bike's steering ratio, and then it obviously kept it for the next cars afterwards, so it was still putting in too much steering lock and not doing it properly. So 900 degrees, it's now set correctly again, so it's all good. Right, onwards. So okay, something completely different again. So we're back onto the wild. So we're onto some kind of vintage racer. We've got 3 options. We've got Sport Luxe, which is the fancy version with spotlights on the front. Nice indeed. And then we have the dirt racer with some shredded tires. Well, let's take the sport one and give this a blast. Okay, it's chrome on the dash and a bit of a old-fashioned rumble. But it's not just fake chrome either. You see that? You got the reflections coming up. Let's go underneath this bridge over here. You can see it reflecting in the chrome, which is very impressive actually. What wheelbase am I using? I am using a Fanatec CSW, or Club Sport version 2.5. It's in a version 2 housing, but it's got version 2.5 internals to it. So it's stronger internals, which was a Fanatec official upgrade. When the original one failed, which wasn't in my hands at that point. It was the person who had this previously had it fail on them, and then they've installed the later electronics inside it, and it's been fine. It's been fine ever since. But this is obviously a bit slower than what we were driving before. However, it's quite good actually, and there's some depth in the sound as well. Bit of slippage from the rear end and the clutch. It's good. So the diff obviously is very basic. But when we shift up to 3rd, let's see if we get that transmission wobble again. Maybe it was to 4th. Definitely doesn't like trying to get the power down out of corners. Right, let's see if that sound comes back again, because it was quite a nice noise. There we go. You get that little fluctuation, that little wobble when it goes into 4th. That's really cool. As I bin it into the wall. But yeah, that transmission flutter, which you hear quite a bit in Race Room because of the transmission model that they have, but that's really cool to hear that in Need for Speed. Are the brakes as bad as they should be for a 20s race car? Well, I think that may have explained it, but we'll just do another brake test down the end here. Let's get up to speed. When you want to plough the field at 80 miles an hour, at least there are mirrors. Yeah, there are mirrors. You can see everything behind you as well, nicely positioned. That's so cool. I love that. Big steering wheel. Which you hang on to for dear life. Ploughing fields at 80 miles an hour, yeah, that could be fun. Speaking of ploughing, we'll try that later. Yeah, the brakes are quite are quite soft. There's not much to them. Be interesting to see whether they fade after a period of driving as well. That's pretty cool. Something again a bit different, but also just as good. So here we go. This is a SLX 130, which is kind of Nissan Laurel-ish. Good ones coming up. I was looking down the list there. Very basic beige looking colours. There's a nice red and black two-tone thing. Oh, okay. So we're gonna get interesting here. So we've got stock, which is what this one's on, and then you've got 90s drift setup, which has side skirts and bigger bumpers on it. I think we have to do a bit of 90s drift. What do you reckon? So again, this looks like a standard, well, taken a lot of it from standard lift for speed car interior in terms of the dashboard in front of us. Still quite low powered. I'm going to go up this way and just do a bit of drifting around the access roads here. So I think this is not necessarily a drifting car, but it's just been improved with a bit of a visual look and also some setup tweaks to make it more willing to go sideways. Yeah, which it can do. Alright, parked. Okay, let's just go back to the pit lane here and just change that back to stock and just see what happens. So is there any kind of wallowing? It's quite flat. Ooh. It's quite happy to break away from them on the on the brakes. Yeah, not too bad. If you fancy a bit of a standard road car type drive, this could be one for you. Just a fairly standard car. Again, good feedback. Reasonably well modded by the looks of things as well. It looks really good. For you can tell what it is, obviously. Yeah, not too bad. What else we got? Okay. Cobra time. Now this thing might be a bit of a monster, but yeah, it looks nice again, doesn't it? I mean, the details there. Bit of ties. You got a slick version as well, but we'll go do it properly with some treaded tires on it. Change up where we're going here. Let's go back to Aston circuit. We'll do the free drive it. Go with that. See what this is like. There's a nice rumble behind the bonnet there. I can hear that nicely. I like the quarter light window as well, which is just kind of sticking out to the side there, and the sun visor obviously up. Nice details. Yeah, this Cobra's nicely done. Looks very nice. Let's see how it drives. Of course, Cobras are very, very quick. Running, in some cases, 289s or 427 cubic inch V8s. But they do have a very big reputation for being leery, which this one seems to have also. Fast chicane to go through here. Can't see the top of it because it's such an incline. Again, it's quite nice to control it. You can wrestle it back under control again if it does get away from you, which it can. It's oops, of course only 4 gears, Phil. Just try and keep it under control on the brakes into that. But again, you can feel what's going on to the point where you can actually react to it and then also counter steer and do all the things you need to do to try and get it back. It is very willing to go sideways though. Even just turning in without provoking any kind of oversteer, it will just rear end will come round on you. That was no coming back from that one though. Oh, it's all chest hair and thick gold chains this one. Blowing in the wind, huh? Yeah. Need some gold chains to try and weigh the thing down to give it some grip. Oh dear me. Well, that's, yeah, as you'd expect, a little bit of a handful, but fun at the same time. Okay, it's good. Again, it's nice to have more variety in the title as well. Now, here we go. We have a JDM 80JZ, a JDM car with original 2JZ engine. Or to you and I, this is a Supra, which looks nice. Again, just a couple with some liveries on it, but the actual overall colours of it, you know, it's standard stock colours almost. That looks really good, doesn't it? I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that's probably quite similar to the one which was released for the original rFactor. Actually, I know it's a Supra is a Supra and that's how it looks, but just the general kind of look of it, very similar to it. So, but anyway, it's a really nicely done job. You've got track day and road specifications setups on it. The drop test on the road, very soft. Track day, much firmer. I reckon let's go with the track day one. Drive. Interior wise, again, got its own custom interior to a degree. It's it's quite square in places, like on the vents and things. Looks it's stuck on, but okay. And it sounds like it's extended to the Supra as well. Very much a following for the Supra. A lot of people really love this car. Got a big tuning history as well. Lots of big tuners in Japan love tinkering around with Supras, and you get some huge horsepower Supras as well. Oops, missed that corner altogether. But this is just the standard stock form. So you'd expect it to be a little bit slower and maybe not quite as well sorted for the handling side of things, but it's still really quite nice to drive. Go up here, the hairpin, make sure we get it stopped this time. Revs died a little bit halfway through there, but we were in third gear, so I can give it that. Looking through the mirror, you can see through the huge rear wing, which was quite unusual for road cars at the time. Reserved for the mad things like F40s and F50s. Ooh. car did not want to go the direction I was taking it. Found a wall. Bit of a mad snap turning into there. I guess we go this way. And again, it's, you know, nicely balanced. You can throw it around and get it sideways and drive through it and have fun with it. So I'm sure there'll be some tuned versions of that, no doubt. We'll get involved with that. That's pretty cool. Right. Snail 111, small Russian car. Three even. I'm gonna gloss over that for the time being because I want to get onto some of these other more juicy things here. We might come back to it. But this thing is, I don't know whether it obviously looks like it's got a forward front end on it. Not quite sure whether the rear is factory forward, but it looks like it's had some styling cues from that. Either way, it's a pickup. So we have off-road, road, full off-road with snorkel and roof rack and everything, and one with a light bar as well. So we'll take the full off-road out, and we'll take off-roading, shall we? That's the thing to do. Start off there. Okay, let's see what happens with this. I'm expecting a V8 in this one. Look at the interior on this. We've got a touchpad on the left. Look, well, you probably can't see that actually because of my. Hang on, you can't see it. Let me just turn myself off here for a second, and you can see the beauty of the interior on this one. There we go. Now you can see it. Look, it's got icons and everything. How cool is that? Very good. Right. Let's see how this thing drives. Ooh. And we're off. It's actually got a, looks like it's got a forward steering wheel as well. Oops, we're going off-road. So I guess we'll go up here. Oh, steering's heavy. It's quite a softly sprung thing, as you would expect. Moving around quite a lot. Missing the shifts from third to second, that's not a good idea. Right. To fourth, let's go off-road here. Take it. Oh, turn in. Ooh, it's wallowy. Ooh. There's a curb. Right, let's take it over the jump, see how it handles that. Up we go. I didn't even think it took off because it was just that heavy. Another one here, let's just go full send over this. Definitely a fair amount of understeer going on. But then again, you kind of expect that. Quite like it actually. It's something a bit different. You need to use the handbrake to get it to rotate through the corners though. Okay. Quite cool actually. The full off-road one's got some KC daylighters on the front, some spotlights, and a winch. So, interesting. Okay, kart cross. Oh, okay, look at this. Let's just go front on here. Look at the suspension move on this. This is cool now. This is really interesting. Just watching the suspension move around. They didn't even have to turn the suspension view on because you can see it. Curious as to how this thing's going to drive then. It's like driving a building, says Todd. It did feel a bit like that actually. It was very heavy on the steering wheel. I could probably turn that down, but yeah, much heavier. Right. Kart cross. On the H pattern, that's the sequential on this one. Again, bike engine to bike gearbox. We have to go down to drifter first. Can't see the start lights because of the roof. So let's see what happens. We're away. 14,000 revs. Okay, now, these things like to go sideways, so let's see what happens out of here. Ooh, yes. A bit of a mad thing. 6th gear. Red line kicks in at 14,500 RPM, which is where it's topping out now. A little bit wayward down the straights. Okay. See what this thing's like through the corners properly. Well, from having loads of force feedback to pretty much nothing actually with this. Turn the force feedback up massively to feel anything, so you're almost guessing where the oversteer is going to kick in. It is there, but very, very light. I think probably the best kart cross car, you can call it a car, that I've driven on a Assetto Corsa. Actually, there's a mod for Assetto Corsa which is very, very good. And this is quite fun as well. Let's try and see what it's like off-road, because it obviously is dual purpose. My 4th gear like a handbrake like I do on Dirt Rally, but that's not the case on this one. And respawn. Tiny little tyres and things on this car. It's yeah, definitely needs a bit more feedback in general, but handling wise it seems to be there. I think if we just feel it a bit more it might be even better. So I have to mess around with the settings on that one to try and see if we can improve that feel. But they got a hill climb version as well, which is suspension setup on that one. Okay, let's go through and see if we can pick out some other ones we desperately want to try, because I don't want to miss out on things, because there's quite a lot of mods on here and I don't want to miss out on something which we really want to try. So it's going to keep scrolling down here because find it. Do something silly and wild. There's a 3-wheeler, definitely got to try that. There we go, on wheels. Yep, okay. Let's where's it gone? There it is. Right. We have a monster truck. Using the XR GT as a base. The tank as well. But here we go, look at this, we've got huge knobbly tyres. A car body which is just up in the air, so let's go see what this thing's like. Of course, you've got the XR GT interior, so that's absolutely fine. You'd expect. And we're away. Lots of lifting of the nose. And then the subsequent dive as you hit the brakes. But there isn't much in the way of brakes. Stop. Okay. I'll remember that. Now the other thing with monster trucks is you can actually pull wheelies with those as well. So we tried doing wheelies with the bike, which had its issues. Let's try and see if we can do the same with the monster truck. So we'll give it lots of revs and then dump the clutch and see what happens. Yes, we're up. We can't turn, obviously. Oops. That's pretty cool. You can pull wheelies with it. Now we just need some cars to crush from somewhere. I'm not quite sure where we're going to find those, but you get it sideways out of corners. No. Just trying to see where you're going most of the time is hard. Now everything's level out because we're going on a nice even keel, but I have to get on the brakes super early here. Wow. Oh, my nose drops. And even then, it's not happening. The brake's on full and it was just not stopping. That's interesting experience to drive. It's again an example of people just taking something which we've known and loved in Live for Speed for ages and then making it ridiculous. Okay, well, while we're here. Okay, so the tracks aren't going to move by looks of things. It's got these 4 wheels at the bottom of it. The turret moves as you move the steering wheel. Okay, re-H pattern. Yeah, guess we are. The question is, do we have a fire button? I don't think we do. Quite quick for a tank. Take it to the army range in this bit. Now, being a tank, it should be able to go anywhere. It will get there, just maybe a bit slower. Go outside again and have a look at it. Now, can you imagine the situation? You go into a public lobby and it's one of those ones where they're just kind of cruising around and you're just minding your own business and you just see one of these things just come around the corner. And then aim at you. It must be quite interesting if you've never seen it before. Again, the imagination that sim racing people have to come up with these solutions when they have something to mess around with. Now we just need a fire button on it. Okay. Fun on excuse me. That could be fun online. Right. Ooh, we have a Fusker estate, a Fusker Wagon. Look at this. Got little eyelids as well, which is nice. Give this a go. And again, the interior looks fantastic. I mean, you've got the radio there, and you've got all the details on the dash. Doesn't sound too bad. Again, it's just another slow car in the sim, but has its very unique personality. It has that inside wheel spin issue, which some of the other cars had. Down to the diff, I think. And again, this one's got some feel on the steering wheel, so drives nicely. Go over the rallycross section. Actually, handles quite similar to the Fusca on Auto Blister 2. Just with less power again. The Fusca's on ARS 2. Absolutely overridden with power. Open diff life, yeah, seems to be the case. The diff is just spooling on the inside, and there's no getting the power down of it. Very good. And again, the chrome on the dashboard and things is all reflecting the world around it, so that's pretty neat. That's nice. Nice shape too. Colours on it. Very good. Okay. What else have we got? Ooh. We have a 32? Is it a 32? It is, isn't it? Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to give this a go. Black with green wheels, okay. Wireframe version. Maybe this blue one with the gold wheels, that looks nice. Okay. This on Skyline R32 time. Very different sound actually compared to the rest of them. Love the turbo sounds as well. Ooh, force feedback's a bit weird. It's doing that reverse feedback feel again. Sound-wise, it sounds good. But yeah, that force feedback's a bit unnerving. It is four-wheel drive, of course. I don't know, it might be that torque steer again. It just feels a bit weird. But even on the curbs, it's an odd feeling. Missed. Cut in the daisies. Obviously going to be a work in progress, like most of these mods are, which will have updates all the time. Yeah, that one's got some interesting feels going through the wheel actually. Kind of makes it a weird driving experience. Okay. So there's an R33. Plenty of Japanese cars, got an RX-8 there as well. That's in 260, I think, maybe. That looks too big for a 240 Z. A Holden touring car, which is cool. Golf buggy. Okay. Weird. Just look at the state of this. You had to get the driver in somehow, I suppose. He's managed to get his hands on the wheel though. There should be no noise from this, so let's... It's got an electric motor, obviously. It's fast for a little toy car, a little Tykes car. It's a bit of a interesting handling characteristic as well. but then it's got casters on, so I'm assuming it's going to handle a bit like a shopping cart. I rolled my toy car. Right, here we go again. Use the gravity. Oh my word. What am I looking at? Excellent turning circle. I'm quite decent grip. Ooh. That is far more fun than it should be. Oh my. That's worth a drive, even if it's just for a good giggle. That's worth a drive. That's fabulous. So the Devil's Head sounds awesome. You should give it a go, says Yakuza. Okay, that was the 240, wasn't it, or 260? Okay. Looks nice though, doesn't it? Little grey. We've got an orange one as well, which is nice. Blue. Here with the gunmetal grey. It's just wrong, says Todd. It is. Okay, right. Back to some form of normality. We've got some nice old school Japanese car goodness for you here. We've got the mirrors on the wings. No kidding, Yakuza. It sounds amazing. The turbo sounds. They're very full on, aren't they? It's from the same anime as the Blackbird's right there. Oh, okay, right. It's quite cool actually. You got the boost gauge in the middle of the rev counter. There's a little separate internal gauge. You can see what the boost is doing. Sounds good, doesn't it? The one thing I'm not sure about is the kind of the ticking sound, which I think must be to do with the boost. So when it's kind of when the revs are going up or down, it's quite smooth, but then it gets to a certain point, and almost like it's stuck on a loop. That's the only possible criticism I have of the sound. The rest of it sounds really good. Totally very much unlike Live for Speed sounds. Just with the extra effects that are going on as well. It's quite stiffly sprung, it's bouncing around all over the road there. Oops. Launched it off the curb. A quick J-turn. Or not, it was in third gear, that didn't help. Okay. Yeah, it does sound good. I think that noise would probably get to me. Press shift A to lower the turbo sound if you want. See all these little tricks which I'm not familiar with. Let's find out. Shift A. Oh, okay. Oh wow, you got all these options to mess around with the sounds and things. That's cool. Never knew that. I'll have to look at that another time, but quite a cool little car. Right. Now, we did have this on the thumbnail, and we will drive it. So, trophy truck or a stadium truck as such, like a Baja off-road thing, which again, softly sprung. It looks like I've got some tinted windows because everything's gone dark, but here we go. nice steering wheel, but that's obviously taken from one of the other Lift for Speed cars. We have wheel lift with this thing. Do the off-road course first, just to put it through its paces. Soaks up the bumps quite nicely. Again, quite heavy force feedback as well, which we can turn down, of course. Okay, let's go this way. But yeah, so on the roads, quite a softly sprung vehicle. So you get the dive and squat when you're moving around, but you also get that wheel lift, which can get a little bit too much. So you've got to be careful of tipping the thing over, but you can get those and recreate those scenes of watching stadium trucks when they're going through corners with the inside wheel miles off the ground. Oops, too hot. Ooh, there's the wall. Right, it's gonna. It's not what I wanted. I'm gonna turn the force feedback down 10 on this one because it's quite strong. So I have an actual chance of driving the thing. Okay. Throw it into the first corner here. Even then, it's still quite strong. They are a very unique driving experience, the trophy trucks. But when you get them right, they are actually really fun. It goes pretty quick too, 170 miles an hour, supposedly. On the brakes early. Not early enough again. Right, let's take this. Where should we take this? Let's take this to. I'm going to take it to West Hill because we've got the long corners. So we're going to try and see if we can keep that wheel up as long as we can. There's lifting up. You can feel it when it lands as well through the wheel, which is really cool. You have that nice little satisfying clunk to know that your front inside wheel has landed back with the tarmac. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? Stop. 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 Just because it goes that fast doesn't mean you have to drive it that fast all the time. Right. Creased it. Alright, we'll go through this first series of corners here because this is where some of the long flowing ones are, so we'll see if we can keep our inside wheel off the ground. No, stop it. Going too enthusiastically with the speed, and I'm just not thinking about how much time I need to slow the thing down. I think you just roll over at the first opportunity. Let's try again. So, just wanted to say your previous LFS video made me try the game and man, I have been sleeping on it. It runs flawlessly with my products. Ah, it's cool. Great. Oh, I'm glad you're able to give it a go. Thanks for watching the previous video as well, and I'm glad it helps you to try LFS out. It's It's a bit of a gem, isn't it? Really, it's old, from 2002. I mean, it's been around a long time now, but it is, yeah, it's really really good, and because it's so old, you can run it easily on most PCs these days. There we go. Get the wheel up. Okay, we got to slow down. Let's try it again up here. Oh no, got into wide and hit the grass on the outside. Okay, let's keep going. Some more up around here. Okay, right. Try again. It's just not. This is not going to happen. However, as it tries to break my wrists, it's a fun car and it's worth trying. So it's really really cool. Let's come out and have a look at it. Duncan, hey, your sub count isn't working. Oh, is it not? Oh, okay. Get into that. But thanks for letting me know. I should certainly check that out. My initial thought was, okay, outdated, but good, I guess. The more I drove it, the more I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. It's yeah. And you first look at it, you look at cars like that, and you think, oh yeah, what? But it's, you know, physics-wise is where it really shines. Okay, let's go back to something ridiculous. So we've got two specs, two setups for this one. You have race, because we race tractors all the time. We have we have work mode, which has a blade underneath it. So let's go cut some grass. Now, of course, this isn't the first time that ride-on mowers have graced the sim racing world or the racing world in games. But yeah, definitely a first for Live for Speed, and speed is probably not the main calling card of this particular vehicle. Direct drive as well. It's only one gear, of course. It's catching up what you guys say. I've got time because I'm driving a lawnmower. And the fact that a game from the 2000s is proper tyre physics and deformation and iRacing, for instance, doesn't. Yeah, that's the thing. We could see with the what we're doing on the track. I'll get on the grass. The the monster truck. When you do that wheelie, it actually squashes the rear tyres in, so you can see them all flattening at the bottom. And it has real life punctures, and you can see it when it's, you know, when it's gone flat. You can see the tyres all flat, which is, you know, again, for a title of its age, incredible. Duncan says also try the V8 Supercar. Yeah, I mean the Holden one, the old Commodore. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a go. It's like Super Mario, says Tour One. Mowed these too many flowers on there. We need to cut that back a little bit. The appearance of West Hill Circuit up. It's just quick on the grass as it is on the track. Oh, it doesn't like rejoining. It's more comfortable on the grass, so we'll stay there. These brake. Do they brake? Yep. Right, back on the tarmac we are then. The next question is, will it roll? Or is it just too much going? It's got too much lower centre of gravity if it doesn't actually. It spins. I think you have pressed to roll unless you find a nice curve to help you. It's quite quick for a little mower. Oh, there's curve on the inside here. Look at the skid marks, showing how little my tyres are in contact with the surface there. Why aren't you playing online, by the way? I'm just kind of going through and just testing these cars out. We might have to do some online stuff at some point with Live for Speed. Definitely have to give it a go. Right. So I have run online in the past with Live for Speed. I just haven't done it for a long time. there's a Cybertruck there, which is meant to look that angular, of course. Another 7.5 ton truck. Karts are something we've not tried out. There's a couple of them. So there's that one, which is a Pro car, which is very, very basic looking. I did see another kart up here somewhere. And we've got to try the three-wheeler as well. and the wheelchair, and. There's a shifter kart. Okay. Well, let's try the shifter kart. Go with a lime green one. Right. So we have to take this to a kart track, obviously. So we'll take it to that one and see how it is. So karts obviously have their own unique driving style. They're very, very pointy, very positive steering on them, and obviously they have a solid rear axle as well. So you've got to be lifting the inside wheel. Okay, so let's see what happens with the kart. Again, there's no force feedback, so it's just guesswork as to what's going on underneath you on this particular kart. Okay, let's find a slower one, and let's find one which might have some feeling to it. Go with the Master Race Kart. Try this. That's more like it. Still no force feedback though. Okay, well, what we'd say that karting is not feeling like you'd expect it to feel. Partly because you'd expect to feel everything going on through the steering wheel, but you can't feel anything at the moment. And it has this kind of weird thing where, okay, you get steering input quite positive through here, but then you go too far and it just kind of goes mad. So the steering angles are a little bit all over the place, but again, sound wise, yeah, you could tell it's kind of trying to simulate a kart sound, being as they're either a two-stroke or a lawnmower four-stroke type engine. So not quite sure how to say your name. I think I don't know. Are mods and everything free in Live for Speed? Okay, so the mods themselves, yes, they are free. You can just download them as in whichever ones you want. But in order to do that, you have to have the S3 license, which is you have various amounts of content unlocked. You have S1, S2, and S3, and of course there's a demo, which Michael, you've also mentioned there. So you can try it out for free, see what you like, see if you enjoy driving it, and then if you do like it, then you can get the S2 or S3 license, whatever you want. But when you get the S3 license, actually I'm not sure how much it is these days, but we'll have to have a look at that. But then you unlock the option to have all these mods, which are available for free, and you simply click on the one you want to try, and it downloads it near enough instantly because they're quite small files, and then you're off and running. Yeah, so I want to looking for a new sim, but don't want to spend a lot of money on rFactor 2 or Automobilista. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair enough. It's worth giving a try, definitely. It's an older title, but yeah, with the mods, it's definitely brought in a whole load of new stuff to try. AD, hi, welcome AD, by the way. You need an S3 license for mods and all the content. It's £18, but worth it. So yeah, go £18 for everything. So significantly cheaper than a lot of the other content that's out there. It's for the driver, and he's got his thumbs up. Oh wow. Okay. Let's here we are on the kart track in our wheelchair. Got reverse. Powered wheelchair, somehow. Just how quick does this thing go? Go back to driver mode. Well, I certainly want to if I need to be in a wheelchair at any point in my life, I'll take this one, I think. Handling wise, okay, as long as I don't go too fast around corners. It does lift the wheels a little bit. But ridiculously, it actually handles better than the karts too. Ah. Get an outside view of what's going on here. We're going. There's that inside wheel lift. I'm getting oversteer in my wheelchair. It's actually reasonably well stuck, isn't it? I mean, I'm throwing into the... It's giving him a reason for being in a wheelchair. But I'm throwing into those corners and it was sticking quite well. Oh, goodness. So you can also include tweak mods. Yes, we had a look at those before. It gives you a few more mods, like FXO and with all-wheel drive and a body kit, for example. Yeah, so it's kind of just taking the original content, just making some little adjustments to it. And yeah, that's cool to see as well. So we've got Banger Racer there. I'm not going to bother with the wooden cart because who knows what we might be getting into. They've got a Testarossa there, or 512. There's just so much in here really now that you can just spend quite a while going through them and just trying various things. We did say we'd try the Robin, and we'll also try the V8 supercar, which down here somewhere, I think. So there's okay, so there's that one, FXO V8 supercar, and then there's where's it gone? This one. I'm gonna give this one a go. This is quite nice. This is like a VN. Is it VN Commodore or is it a V? It's a VP Commodore, with the full Group A body kit on it as well. So that's quite a cool looking thing. Oh, it is a VN. VN, I got it right the first time. Very similar ages. He's even got the right dashboard in with the protruding buttons that come around the side of the wheel. We're on the kart track here. This is not its natural habitat, but let's get ourselves out of here and then onto some proper circuit. Oh, I can't because it's not. Go national, let's go. Would you mind trying that 2010 Mercedes looking car? The F1, yeah, we can do. Yeah, it's fine. That sounds good. Well, this circuit very much reminds me of Phillip Island in a way, so quite well suited to the Aussie V8 supercar. Oh, this actually already feels pretty good. I'll go this way. Sorry, I was lining up to go left, but I'm on free roam, but I prefer this outside route. Right, get on the brakes hard down into this. That's the rear end locking up on us. Maybe not quite that hard on the brakes into the chicane section. Kept it out of the wall though. Ooh, now we're just going sideways for fun. Brush with the wall. Okay, let's calm it down. Right, so you can even tell that the oil pressure gauge on the dash is moving at the same time as we're driving as well, so that's cool. This is really nice, actually. This is really good. Be quite gentle with it and balance it on the corner exits. A good amount of pace down the straight line as well. Whoa, is the rear end coming around on this though? We creased against the Armco. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. It looks nice too. Very nice. Good stuff. Right. Okay, we'll try the where was it? There was a Mercedes Formula 1 car which they wanted me to give a go. So yeah, somewhere. Oh yeah, Formula RC6. So early 2010s downforce beast apparently. Okay. Red cow. Very good. Ferrari with Israel instead of Santander on it. Pedronus. Mercedes Kens. Yep. And Stonebridge tyres. Yeah, the replica liveries. No. We'll take the red cow. Give this a go. Okay, so first off, tyres look quite narrow on the front, but they are slick. Got Formula style steering wheel, which isn't standard standard steering wheel that you would get in the Formula BMW, which is already part of Live for Speed. So that's created specifically for this car. Oh, thanks, Todd. No, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you with us. We're going to try and do a few more cars if we can. Here we go. Let's try and see what this Formula 1 car is like. Sounds all right. Might need to turn the force feedback up again for this one because it's quite light. You can feel it's there. It'd be nice to have a little bit more weight behind the wheel. We can do that, of course, in the options. It does actually increase, so you go around those fast corners there. You feel the weight increase on the wheel. So we're learning the track properly. And you get that little sound distortion, you get up to high revs as well, high speed with the wind distortion. You love that corner through there. Try and break in a straight line and then turn it back into the apex, it's always fun. Too wide. Oh, that's alright, you're welcome. We've got to try these things, we've got to see what they're like. I mean, by no means is this going to fully provide you with your Formula 1 sim racing kicks in terms of replicating an actual F1 car from that period, but it does a pretty good job of actually replicating a high downforce single-seater of that kind of caliber. Yeah, and again, graphics-wise, it is limited, it is basic, obviously, but if you look past that and just focus on the driving of it, it is good, and it is involving. So there we go. One of the single-seaters. Right, let's do this. Let's go find the UF Robin. I'm actually kind of gutted there's no yellow one with a... That's probably as close as we can get to a Only Fools and Horses version. Right, so what we need to do with this one is we need to find a circuit which is full of twists and turns that we have to survive. We're going to go with the cadet layout of Aston, because there's some elevation changes as well, which could catch out the little three-wheeler. So here we go. This is using one of the standard live for speed steering wheels in there. Because obviously it's taken the UF1, which is the very basic front-wheel drive thing. Here we go. So let's try and see if we can survive a lap of the Aston Cadet circuit without tipping over. He almost didn't even make it to the start line. Okay, that's where we've got to look out for. So, okay. So now we know it is possible to do. We just need to try and avoid it for the entire lap. Now we've got some tight hairpin bends coming up after this sweeping left, just after the start line here. So we've got to be careful going through there. Wow, as careful as a racing driver can be. And we're over. Try again. Of course you can't go slowly and just crawl around, because where's the fun in that? You gotta try and take it at some form of speed. Almost had a bit of oversteer then for a moment. Well, oversteer then over. Only 4 gears. Keep it on the tarmac. Let me do a spin turn in this. I don't think it has enough power, but no. Right, come on. Let's try and finish this lap off. Luckily it's got a bit of a body to it which actually rights you again, as long as you're not going too quickly into a corner, in which case it just has no chance. And slowly. Ooh, back end came around then. What's going on? Right, now we have the downhill section to worry about. Okay, smooth. Whoop. Well, we haven't rolled it and we're coming up to finish the lap, so I think we managed to do it. throw it into turn 1 for fun. See how many rolls we can get out of it. Didn't go all the way over. Shame. Again, another car that could be quite fun online. Right. I reckon two more. Two more and we'll call it there. So let's find some good stuff to end on here. Why don't we not try that? I'd like to try. Tractor. Let's try the DTM car. I think that's definitely worth a go. Then we'll finish on Mr. Beaner. Yep, good call, tall one. So the DTM car then. With this one, we will take it to Rockingham and we'll do the they do the ISSC layout. Rockingham, by the way, is laser scan too, which is pretty cool for a small team such as the Live for Speed team. It's got a bit more of a low rumbling V8 compared to the. Mind you, when you get to the high rev range, it's a bit different. I was kind of expecting it to topple over, having driven the line robin. Oh, that sounds good. First corner of Rockingham Oval, and we have a hard stop down into the Dean hairpin. Double left. Actually, quite nice to drive. You can be quite accurate with it. You can be, you can get quite a good amount of feedback through the wheel as well. It's quite stiffly sprung, as you can tell, with the car bouncing around. There's all the runoff on the exit there. You get up near the wall as well, you can hear the reverb, like a muffling effect. Coming onto the grass. You can take quite a bit of speed through these fast corners as well, as obviously the downforce helping with that. Back end still gets a bit lively out of the slow corners. That's cool. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. It's obviously modelled on a BMW, and it's quite nicely done actually. Get that a little bit closer. Yeah, it's easily passable as a DTM car. Very cool. Very nice. Right. Okay. Last one then. And yeah, go find it. Where is it? Down here somewhere. There it is. The UF Bean. The driver in. There he is. Hands on the stick. We got a decent view here. Let's I think it's a firm bay. Off there, and we'll go and see if we can see over the barriers to the sea. You feel quite high up. It moves around a little bit. It's quite top heavy. Of course, it's underneath just a UF1, so. Oop. Except a normal UF1 doesn't do that. Oh dear, Mr. Bean just lost his shopping. Ah, some madness, isn't it? It's good. I mean, the great thing about this, obviously, it's breathed a whole new heap of life into Live for Speed. Now, it's been ticking along in the background anyway with the original content that it had, and people have just been enjoying driving it for many years in communities and things, doing all sorts of different things, such as city driving or racing or whatever it may be, and it's been ticking along for a while, but I think this is now it's breathed so much new fresh life into the sim, and you can tell by the variety of content which has been released. Sure, it's not up there in terms of polygons and eye candy as you'd expect from modern sim racing titles, but if you can look past that, and if you can just enjoy the actual driving side of things and the fun aspect of it as well, you're looking for something which is just a little bit mad and a little bit fun just to kind of relax and rewind with. Really can't go far wrong. I mean, as you can see, if you want to be a bit more serious with it, there are some cars which you can really throw around a racetrack and have a really good driving and racing experience with. But then there's things like this which are just, they're not there to be a serious sim racing event or anything like that. It is purely there just to bring a smile to your face and help you enjoy the amazing world of sim racing. And as you can tell from my face this evening, it certainly put a smile on my face driving some of these cars, and I'm sure it will do for you guys as well. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you guys who've logged on and joined us and watched the stream and commented, and thank you for your comments and your inputs and things. It's helped to open my eyes to some things with Live for Speed as well, which I wasn't even aware of. So thank you very much for your inputs and being part of our stream this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a laugh just watching me try and drive some of these weird and wonderful creations on Live for Speed. We really appreciate all of you for being here and being with us, and to those who subscribed tonight as well, big thanks to you guys, and those who subscribed in the past as well. We are getting closer and closer to our goal, and I'm hoping we can do that by the end of January. That'd be amazing. But again, if you've enjoyed the stream, please hit the like button. It helps to get the video seen. We'll look to throw up some short highlight clips throughout the week as well, just to try and cut it into sections so you guys can rewatch it. Yeah, big thank you to all you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the stream this evening. Oh dear. So there we have it. Modding in Live for Speed. Who'd have thought it? and who'd have thought it'd be so much fun as well. So there we have it. Take care of yourselves, guys. We'll do another live stream obviously next Saturday. We'll hopefully get another recorded video out during the week too, so keep your eye out for that. But thank you for your company. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye for now.